Let's keep you abreast with current news events across the federal ministries, agencies, and parastatals on Ministry News. The Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, has attributed the current unstable power supply to low water level in the nation's hydroelectric dams. The minister made this known when addressing State House correspondents on the power supply situation during the weekly ministerial briefing organized by the presidential media team at the presidential villa in Abuja this week. The minister, who spoke on various initiatives to improve power supply in the country, said that the metering gaps on the metering program were being reduced across the country, with the rollout of 1 million meters for the first phase of the initiative, while awaiting 4 million orders under the second phase. He, however, stressed that the meters are free, cautioning distribution companies, DISCOs, that sell meters to desist from such act. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has disclosed that the federal government has moved the target date for the concession of Nigeria's 4 major international airports from the first quarter of this year to the second quarter, adding that the government will issue requests for proposal for the establishment of the long-awaited national carrier, Nigeria Air, by next week, Monday. The minister will disclose this on Wednesday during a State House briefing in Aso Villa, Abuja during the week, stated that transaction advisors for the concession on the airports were currently analyzing the proposals of bidders. He explained that successful bidders will be announced soon, adding that the entire process should be completed in the second quarter of this year. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umaru Farouk, has disclosed that the federal government has upwardly reviewed the National Homegrown School Feeding Program from 70 naira to 100 naira a plate per child. The minister, who made this known at the commemoration of the 7th African School Feeding Day held at the Transcorp Hilton, Abuja on Tuesday, thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for the increment, adding that it came at a time when all hands are on deck to ensure that all public primary school pupils 1 to 3. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved a revised national gender policy to promote gender equality, good governance and accountability across 3 tiers of government in the country. The Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Pauline Talin, made the disclosure when she briefed State House correspondents on the outcome of the council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo in Abuja on Wednesday. According to the minister, the policy represents a set of minimum standards expected of the Nigerian government to meet its mandate for gender equality, good governance, accountability, and being socially responsive to the needs of its vulnerable group.
This memo is a revised National Gender Policy 2021 to 2026. It represents a set of minimum standards expected of Nigerian government to meet its mandate for gender equality, good governance, accountability, and being socially responsive to the needs of its vulnerable group.
The federal government on Thursday inaugurated Enhanced Electronic International Passport and Passport Production Center in the Southeast. Inaugurating the Enhanced E-Passport in Enugu, the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, said the Enhanced E-Passport has over 25 security features that distinguished it among other international passports in the world. Aregbesola said the state-of-the-art and technological-driven security features make the e-passport virtually impossible to counterfeit or manipulate to check international passport racketeering and other forms of manipulations. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Mahmoud Abubakar, has said that agriculture is the most vulnerable and susceptible to the impact of climate change in Nigeria. The minister, who stated this in Benin at a workshop for women farmers in the South-South region, said the training will build the capacity and improve the resilience of farmers to the threats and impact of climate change in agricultural production in Nigeria. Dr. Abubakar, who was represented by Mr. Wellington Omoragbon, State Director of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in Edo State, said climate change and variability affect particularly women, who constitute the most vulnerable among the farming communities. The minister stated that the choice of Edo State to host the workshop was because it was situated within the rainforest agro-ecological zones in the country, facing ecological challenges as a result of the impact of climate change. The Federal Ministry of Health has established a Ministerial Committee on Health Insurance Provision for Pensioners. The Executive Secretary of PTAD, Dr. Chioma Ejikeme, who made his known recently at the ongoing Southwest Stakeholders Forum in Ibadan, Oyo State, noted that the establishment of the committee, pensioners under the old pension scheme, the Defined Benefits Scheme, DBS, would soon have access to health insurance. She further said they are in collaboration with some stakeholders, namely the National Health Insurance Scheme, the National Citizen Center, and the Federal Ministry of Health, to see how making health insurance available to pensions could be a reality. The Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, has stated that the federal government does not have the funds to meet its obligations in the agreement signed with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The minister said the government was considering a renegotiation of the terms of the agreement with ASU in the effort to end the ongoing strike by university lecturers. Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Education has constituted another committee to renegotiate the 2009 agreement with ASU.
We just have only one or two areas that are new. And that area, like I kept on saying, is the condition of service negotiation, which they call 2009 agreement. A new team have been constituted because they needed to have a second look at that document and make sure, with ASU a contribution, that some of the allowances are not against the salaries, incomes, and wages, fixed wages and allowances.
And finally, on Ministry News, the federal government has requested for more foreign direct investments from France to create more employment opportunities in the country. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, made this request while receiving the Ambassador of France to Nigeria, Mrs. Emmanuelle Blackman, and other top French embassy officials. Commending the quantum of French investment already existing in Nigeria, the minister appealed to France to do more to boost employment in the country.